books will self-destruct in 12 months. In 2025, I made a list of 11 books that I had to read or they get unhauled. Hi, I'm Alex. This is Pucks and Paperbacks, where I love to shout about queer and trans books. These are some of the books that I had to read in 2025 or else I had to unhaul them. I didn't expect my progress to be as bad as it was. Out of the 11 books, I only read 2, but I have since unhauled a couple. I will say doing this challenge got me to think more about unhauling. I wouldn't say I'm a hoarder, but I'm somebody that has trouble getting rid of my books because in the back of my head, I'm like, well, what if I want to read it someday? But doing this challenge, I felt so free when I actually unhauled the books. I was able to unhaul a couple at my library and I gave some to a thrift store that opened up. I also recently got a little free library near me, so I have been filling that with my unhauled books. It was more that I don't have many places to donate to. My library is not very close. I don't have many little free libraries near me. So if I were to go to the library and donate them, I have to make an appointment and I just didn't have the time. But now I have more accessible options for me to unhaul books. I'm still not sure what to do with most of them, especially ARCs. I find it hard to know what to do with them. Usually I just give them to my library and maybe they'll use them at the library book sale. I just don't know what to do with these ARCs, especially ones that I just keep getting sent that I don't want. I get multiple ARCs sent to me and I just don't know what to do with them. Usually I just decline because I would rather have a physical copy because it's easier to donate than an ARC. If you receive ARCs and donate them, what do? Let's go over my stack. I had 11 books. I read 2 and I unhauled about 2. There's another book that I can't find, so I have a feeling I unhauled it and I just don't remember. Let's go down the stack. Star World by Audrey Coldhurst and Paula Gardner. Never got around to it. Final Draft by Riley Redcate. Also never got around to. High Risk Homosexual by Edgar Gomez. Also never got around to. A Season of Daring Greatly. Never got around to. The Brightsiders by Jen Wilde. Also never got around to. Frankly in Love by David Yoon I read and it made my best books of the year. Freshwater by Akwege Emezi I also read and it made my best books of the year. The Black Veins by Aisha Monet I didn't read. And Permanent Record by Mary H.K. Choi I also didn't read. That is what I have right now. Honestly, I might not have everything with me. If I don't have them, they've probably been unhauled or I have them in a place that I can't remember. Now let's go over what I'm gonna do with this. Yes, I do have to unhaul them. So I am gonna unhaul them. But there's a couple books that I actually want to keep for myself, including The Brightsiders. I like to write books and so I want to have contemporary ready in case I need some research, so I'm gonna keep this one. I'm also going to hang on to High Risk Homosexual. I still want to get around to this. I just think it's gonna be the type of book that I read during a video or I just read on my own time with the audiobook. So out of the 11 books, I will be keeping these 2 and the rest are just gonna get unhauled. I don't have that anxiety anymore where I'm like, oh, well, what if I get around to it? The library exists. I've also realized that I like to read more newer releases, books that came out in like 2018. Even before then, I don't prioritize anymore. I do love a good backlist title, but for the most part, if I'm reading a backlist title, chances are I can get it from my library. There is another book that I don't have on me. It is Nice Try Jane Sinner, but I'm planning to unhaul that, so it's probably in one of my unhaul bags. I also am unhauling Who's That Girl by Blair Thornborough. I have a feeling I already unhauled this. I just can't remember. I can't find it anywhere, so chances are that's probably where it went. I also DNF'd and unhauled Can't Take That Away by Stephen Salvador. I feel like I did pretty good with this challenge. Yes, I only read 2 books, but I've realized I don't have much sentimental value to my books anymore, and that's progress. Now let's go over my 2026 stack. I have decreased the list. I've realized if I have 11 books, I'm just not gonna read them. We saw that here. So this time around, I have 6 books to read or I unhaul them. These are the 6 books that I have to read in 2026 or else I have to unhaul them. I have a smaller list this time and it's going to help me. My criteria is if I've had this book for 4+ years, it's going bye-bye. I have to read it or it just doesn't go here anymore. Starting with a book I got for Christmas a couple years ago, When We Believed in Mermaids by Barbara O'Neill. I don't know if I'm gonna want to read this. It says, her sister has been dead for 15 years when she sees her on the TV news. Knowing the person that bought me this, it's really not surprising. Josie was killed years ago on a train during a terrorist attack. Gone forever, it's what her sister Kit, an ER doctor in Santa Cruz, has always believed. Yet all it takes is a few heart-wrenching seconds to upend Kit's world. Live coverage of a club fire in Auckland has captured the image of a woman stumbling through the smoke and debris. Her resemblance to Josie is unbelievable and unmistakable. With it comes a flood of emotions, grief, love, and anger that Kit finally has a chance to put to rest by finding the sister who's been living a lie. After arriving in New Zealand, Kit begins her journey with the memories of the past, of days spent on the beach with Josie, of a lost teenage boy who'd become a part of their family, and of a trauma that has haunted Kit and Josie their entire lives. Now, if 2 sisters are to reunite, it can only be by unearthing long-buried secrets and facing a devastating truth that has kept them apart far too long. To regain their relationship, they may have to lose everything. Wow, that actually sounds interesting. I wasn't sure about the dead part, but the rest of it sounds really interesting. Again, knowing the person that gave me this, it's really interesting that they chose this. Cool, sounds interesting. Let me know if you've read it. The next book might be similar because it's called I Killed Zoe Spanos by Kit Frick. I got this a couple years ago for a video I did where I tested different bookish products, and this was a book box that I tested. It's a pretty book. I just don't know if I care to read it anymore. What happened to Zoe won't stay buried. When Anna arrives at the small Hamptons village of Heron Mills for a summer nanny gig, she has high hopes for a fresh start. What she finds instead is a community on edge after the disappearance of Zoe Spanos, a local girl who has been missing since New Year's Eve. Anna bears an eerie resemblance to Zoe, and her mere presence in town stirs up still raw feelings about the unsolved case. As Anna delves deeper into the mystery, stepping further and further into Zoe's life, she becomes increasingly convinced that she and Zoe are connected and that she knows what happened on New Year's. 2 months later, Zoe's body is found in a nearby lake and Anna is charged with manslaughter, but Anna's confession is riddled with holes, and Martina Green, teen host of the Missing Zoe podcast, isn't satisfied. Did Anna really kill Zoe? And if not, can Martina's podcast uncover the truth? Holy shit. That sounds intense. I picked these books very randomly. The only criteria was if I've had it for a long time, and the fact that these have very similar storylines is really interesting. I might have to do a vlog about this in some way. Alright, the next book is a little tamer. The Easy Part of Impossible by Sarah Tomp. I bought this because it has diving, and I don't know if I really want to read it anymore. I don't know if I'm going to like it after I read a book that I think is a little bit similar and I recently DNF'd it. I feel like this might have similar vibes. I hope I'm wrong. Heading into her senior year, Rhea Williams was on track to dive in the Olympics. As someone who has always struggled in school, largely due to her ADHD, diving was the one place Rhea could shine. All thanks to Coach Benny. He turned her excessive energy into something special. The harder he was on her, the better she dived. The bigger the bruise, the sharper her focus. But with one slip up at a crucial meet, Benny completely shuts her out. And just like that, Rhea is handed her life back with an empty future. Lost without Coach Benny's strict rules dictating every aspect of her life, Rhea bumps into Cotton Talley, what a name that is, a guy from her childhood, and rekindles a friendship with Cotton, who uses facts and logic to understand the world around him, but needs a facial expression chart to measure emotions. There are no guessing games, ulterior motives, or unpredictable flashes of anger like Benny always threw at her. With Cotton, this new world she exists in starts to feel breathable. Just as Rhea finds her footing without Benny, he returns, offering her a second chance at a huge diving opportunity. The thought of being back under his control seems impossible to bear, but so does walking away. And how do you separate the impossible from the possible when the one thing you love is so tangled up in the thing you fear most? I have diving in my family. One of my siblings was a diver, and that's why I picked this up, because I know about diving. This story is very similar to people I know, and that's why I wanted to read it. I didn't know it had neurodivergence, so that should be interesting. I hope I have the wrong expectations about this one. Next is Happily Ever Afters by Elise Bryant. I have read her adult cozy mystery. I think I bought it when it first came out, and I just never got around to it. Obviously, that's why it's on this list. 2021, that's not too bad, but it is 2026, so. 16-year-old Tessa Johnson has never felt like the protagonist in her own life. She's rarely seen herself reflected in the pages of the romance novel she loves. The only place she's a true leading lady is in her own writing, and the swoony love stories she shares only with Caroline, her best friend. When Tessa is accepted into the writing program of a prestigious art school, she's excited to finally let her story shine. But when she goes to her first workshop, the words are gone. Fortunately, Caroline has a solution. Tessa just needs to find some inspiration in a real-life love story of her own. She's ready with a list of romance novel-inspired steps to a happily ever after. Nico, the brooding artist who looks like he walked out of one of Tessa's stories, is cast as the perfect Prince Charming. But as Tessa checks off each item on the list, she gets further away from herself. She risks losing everything she cares about, including the surprising bond she develops with Sweet Sam, who lives across the street. She's on her way to having her own real-life love story, but is it the one she wants after all? I actually remember some of this. It sounds really great, and I have a feeling I'm gonna like it. This next book came out in 2017. I think the author sent it to me. This is Water in May by Ismeé Williams. 15-year-old Mari Pujols believes that the baby she's carrying will finally give her a family member who loves her and won't ever leave her. Not like her mama, who took off when she was 8, or her papi, or her abuela, who wants as little to do with her as possible. But when her doctors discover a potentially fatal heart defect in the fetus, Mari must decide whether to undergo several dangerous surgeries, putting her life at risk, in order to try to save the baby. Surrounded by her loyal girl crew, her on and off boyfriend, and a dedicated doctor, Mari navigates a decision that could devastate the bravest of women. Mari's future is as uncertain as her unborn babies, but her darkest moments shed light on what it truly means to be part of a family. Holy shit, this sounds so sad. I hope there's joy. I really hope there's at least some joy in here. I have heard good things about this author though. Let me know if you've read it. It's pretty old, so there's gotta be at least one person that's read this. And the last book is another part of that bookish products video. Fiona and Jane. I got it from Book of the Month when I was testing it. This is by Chen Ho. I got 29 pages in, so not bad. I don't think I disliked this. I just put it down for whatever reason. So I'm interested to read this. I actually do know what it's about. It is, I believe, a dual POV between Taiwanese American women as they navigate friendship, sexuality, and identity. And I believe it's them finding out that their dad is gay or he's queer in some way. Very interesting. It's literary fiction. I do remember enjoying the writing. Okay, those are the books that I plan to read in 2026. If not, I have to unhaul them and fit them into some videos throughout the year. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and leave a comment. It helps me out so much. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Alex. I'm a trans man who loves to uplift queer and trans books on my corners of the internet. If you're into that, hit subscribe to join my community. Thank you to my top members on Patreon and Bindery for your support this month. I appreciate you so much. If you want to join us, become a free or paid member to have access to my private Discord, weekly newsletters, and more. If you want to watch more, YouTube recommends this video and you can subscribe there. Bye.